You made it back. It's day 5. Congratulations making it all the way to the end. I am in my house today. I wanted to show you that there are ways to incorporate the outdoors in your space, even if it's too cold for you to get outside. So I made myself a little corner here, offer you some inspo. Today we're coming to the end of our journey, and so it's about reflecting and restoring. And yoga is this powerful practice that it requires so much effort and energy, but there's a whole other side to it. Half of the practice is learning to surrender and rest. So after a week of dedicating, today is about feeling good. It's about nourishing, moving slowly, and breathing deeply. So we'll go ahead and get started. Come onto your mat and start on hands and knees. We'll move through a few rounds of cat-cow just to bring some movement to the spine, wake up the body, and try to have this cat and cow be as organic as possible so it doesn't have to look perfect. Just kind of allow your body to move however it wants to. If you want to sway side to side, if you kind of want to roll in your hips, roll in your shoulders, whatever feels good. Just make sure that your breath keeps moving. One more full breath. Go ahead and bring your thighs together. Have a seat on your heels and interlace your fingers in front of your chest. Join your thumb tips. Point your palms down. Reach your arms overhead for thunderbolt pose. If your arms get kind of stuck, bend your elbows side to side and bring your arms overhead, and then re-extend your arms. Lean the weight back into your hips. Reach your arms up and back. Gently release your arms down to your sides and interlace your hands behind your low back. And you're gonna have your elbows pretty bent to get there. With your elbows still bent, move your shoulders behind you. And you can keep your elbows bent or start to bring your arms more straight. Stay upright, feeling into the stretch, or round your back and bring your arms overhead. Your forehead's gonna come towards your knees. Keep lifting your shoulders and pull your belly back. Gently release your arms. Find your way to downward facing dog. Again, not taking this down dog too seriously, just feeling into the backside of your body, getting a nice stretch, awakening there. You can pedal your feet if that feels good. Sway your hips side to side. And look forward towards your hands. Walk your feet forward. Come into a nice bent knee forward fold at the front of your mat. So hands down, weight forward, relax your neck. Feet nice and wide will give you more space, so feet at least as wide as hips. Step your left foot back into a lunge. Keep your feet hip width apart at least and walk your hands inside of your right foot. You can keep your back knee lifted if you feel strong here, but if you want more support, just go ahead and lower that back knee down. Press through both feet and bring some length to your spine, chin out of chest. Stay here or come down onto your forearms. You could also come down onto a block or a pillow or whatever you got around you, maybe your dog. Push your feet down though, lengthen your spine. Deep breaths, feel into that right hip and the left one. You'll probably feel some things in the left hip also. Take any grip out of your fingertips. Soft hands, soft eyes. One more breath. And moving slowly, come back up onto your hands. Lift your back knee. Step your back foot forward and take that nice bent knee forward fold at the front of your mat. Feet still as wide as your hips. Step your right foot back this time, lunge. can keep your back knee lifted. Some people feel powerful there. I like to lower my back knee, bring some length to your spine. So chin out of chest, chest forward, and then stay here or come down onto your forearms. Coming down will deepen the stretch. So if you want to prop yourself up on one hand and just have one forearm down, maybe you just kind of bend your elbows, that's cool. Wherever you feel like you're getting a good stretch, but it's not too intense. Support yourself with your breath. Slowly returning back to your hands, lift your back knee up, step your back foot forward and fold. And with one breath, extend your spine, slide your hands to your shins, halfway lift. As you fold, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. We're going to come into pigeon pose on the left side, so join the inner edge of your legs together. Bring your left knee forward behind your left wrist and make your knee wider than your hips, so scoot it over to the left. Bring the top of your back leg to the ground, including your back foot, and stay upright on your hands, supporting yourself. Or if you want, you can come down onto your forearms. This is pigeon pose. Hip stretch. And so to stretch safely and strongly, really push your feet down into the ground. But then try to relax everything else. So relax your shoulders, your hands, your neck, your eyes. Deep breaths. Pigeon pose is not meant to bother your knees. Some people will feel some discomfort in their knees in pigeon if they aren't used to doing it. When in doubt, having your hands down so you can support some of the weight in your hands, that will help. There's also a different pose. You guys go ahead and stay there for a few more breaths. I want to show you, this is kind of a traditional PE type of stretch, but if you take this type of position in a seated position or on your back, it can sometimes help feel better in the knees than pigeon pose. And as you're in pigeon, go ahead and slowly start to come up onto your hands. Tuck your back toes, step back, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet a couple times, sway your hips side to side. Join the inner edge of your legs back together. Bring your right knee forward, this time behind your right wrist, scooting it over to the right so it's wider than your hips. Back leg down, top of back foot down. Stay upright, supporting yourself with your hands, or come forward. Or of course, that other position that I showed you, if you're feeling anything funny in the knees, you really don't want the joints to push through pain. Stretching the muscles is fine, so feel into the stretch of your hips as you relax your upper body. Totally cool to let your head kind of hang, but notice if you're really gripping your chin into your chest, like curling up into a tight, tense ball. If that's happening, just try to release some of that tension that you don't need for this pose. Release that neck pressure, release your hands. One more breath. And slowly come back up onto your hands. Make your way back to downward facing dog. One final time for this week. Pedaling your feet if that feels good, or maybe just holding really still. 2 more nice breaths. And lower your knees straight down. We're going to come into an upright kneeling position. So Standing on your knees, if you want to roll over your mat, maybe you're on tile like I am, you can roll over your mat and make your knees a little more cushioned, or a blanket or whatever helps. But have your knees right under your hips, feet hip width apart behind you. But do tuck your toes, that'll help. So bring your toes tucked behind you and hands on hips. Wrap your thumbs around the fronts of your hips and point your fingers down at your glutes. Press your hips forward as you lift your chest, and moving your shoulders behind you, start to lean back. Use your hands kind of as a back brace to help you keep your back secure. You can also firm your glute muscles. That'll help you feel supported. You can stay upright or start to lean back a little more. Maybe you reach back and see if one of your heels are within reach. If they are, go for it. But keep pressing your hips forward. If you're kind of dangling and you don't reach anything, just keep your hands on your hips. Heart high. Air will be constricted, but take a couple more breaths. This is camel pose. Return your hands back to your hips. Press your hips forward to come on up and take a child's pose. So knees wide, big toes toward each other. Crawl your arms forward. Using your hands to lift your chest back up. Take a comfortable seated position here with me. Just close your eyes. Maybe you place your backs of hands to the tops of your thighs. Gesture of receiving all of this goodness that you've cultivated throughout the week. Soft breaths. I want to say congratulations for making it through, whether you joined us for one video or all of them, any little bit towards prioritizing yourself, self-care, setting these positive habits into motion so that they trickle into hopefully the rest of your year. It's all powerful, it all matters, and I want to commend you for making this choice for yourself, for stepping into this practice. I am really excited to announce the official launch of the Out There Yoga YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this challenge, then you will enjoy the content that's shared on this channel. You can expect nature-inspired yoga flows and meditations and other similar practices, all based in the teachings of Mother Nature. And so I hope that you'll subscribe and stick around. Congratulations again on making it through. I will see you back here really soon. Take care.